right. Nice job.
Let the girl go. Kimberly!
Nice and easy. Hand me the bag. Nice and easy. Come on. Are we good?
Nick, fuck!
Expiration date.
The movie opens with Lee and Fodes secretly watching the headquarters of a drug trafficking gang. Right before the mission starts, Lee gives Fodes a watch as a keepsake. They begin the raid, but discover that the building appears empty. Seeing no signs of anyone inside, they decide to pull back and continue observing from outside. However, the thieves were actually hiding in a secret area inside the building, waiting for the right moment to strike. Suddenly, they came out and opened fire, hitting Lee. Fodes fought back fiercely, taking down all but one of them. But when he let his guard down, the last thug attacked, stabbing Fodes and turning the fight around. Just as the attacker was about to finish him off, Lee reacted first. Sensing that an explosion was about to happen, Lee ordered roadblocks and told civilians to evacuate. Although the danger was stopped, he eventually died from his injuries. 4 months later in Nevada, police were chasing a gang that had just pulled off a daring robbery. As the officers were getting close, one of the criminals hacked their communication system, cutting off the signal and helping the gang escape. That night, the authorities confirmed that the gang had stolen $10 million from a city casino. Soon after, the people involved started to be identified. The leader of the group was a man named Banks, but the real mastermind behind the plan was a veteran named Lawson. Right after the heist ended, Lawson drove away in the getaway car, determined to cover up all evidence of their involvement. Just after Lawson left, Banks and his team opened the bag of money, only to be shocked to find a bomb inside, counting down. Their escape routes were blocked, trapping them completely. In that moment, Banks understood everything. Lawson had betrayed them, taken all the stolen money, and set a deadly trap to kill his crew. Desperate to survive, Banks tried to stop the bomb, while far away, Lawson calmly took out his phone, ready to detonate it and finish his plan. Banks managed to disable the bomb just in time, avoiding Lawson's deadly trap. Refusing to let Lawson win, he and his crew swore to find and kill him. Banks told Geary, their hacker, to track Lawson's location using a secret tracker he had hidden on Lawson's clothes. Meanwhile, the story shifts to Fodes, who is spending a peaceful day in the countryside with his daughter. But when he finds out that Kim is about to meet a friend, he starts to feel uneasy. Something tells him that danger is near. Right after his daughter left, Fodes started getting his gear ready for a hunting trip with a friend in the woods. But his plans were interrupted by an urgent call from the police chief, telling him to come to the station right away. The reason stunned him. Kim had been accused of stealing from a convenience store. When he arrived, she was being questioned about her connection to Larson. At the same time, Banks and his crew were also there, asking the chief for help in finding Lawson. Each group was focused on its own goal, unaware of the danger waiting ahead. Lawson was hiding deep in the forest while Banks and his crew were trying to find a way to reach him. At the same time, Lawson was moving through woodland, making his way toward the border. Back at the police station, Fodes arrived and immediately noticed two of Banks' men outside. As he got closer, Dominica stepped forward with a gun in hand, ready to attack. Fodes demanded an explanation, and Banks calmly said he needed the police chief's help to find a fugitive hiding in the city's forest. But when the chief refused to help, Banks and his crew decided to act on their own. They took over the police station, where Fodes' daughter Kim was being held. Sensing the growing tension, Fodes agreed to help Banks find Lawson, but only if Kim and the police chief were released. Banks agreed to let Kim go, but moments later, he coldly shot and killed the police chief. As the situation grew worse, one of Banks' men pointed a gun at Fodes from behind. Fodes quickly turned to fight back, but his gun was empty. With no other option, he followed Banks' orders, knowing that resisting could put Kim's life in danger. Fodes kept it a secret that Kim was his daughter. The hunt began when Banks' crew took Kim hostage and soon found Lawson's car along with the tracking device he had used. But this also meant they could no longer follow Lawson's movements through the forest. Though Kim was scared by the gang's threats, her father comforted her, promising that they would find a way to escape soon. Fodes saw Kim ask Dominica for permission to step away, but moments later he heard her terrified screams. One of Banks' men was trying to assault her. Enraged, Fodes quickly attacked and killed the man. Seeing the situation spiral out of control, Banks ordered Jensen to get rid of Fodes and deal with any other possible threats. Noticing the close bond between Fodes and Kim, Banks grew suspicious and decided to shoot Fodes. Panicking, Kim instinctively shouted "Dad," revealing the truth that they were father and daughter. At the same time, the hacker took advantage of the chaos to start his own scheme, muttering about being tired and thirsty as the hunt grew more intense. Annoyed by the hacker's behavior, Jensen forced him to drink his own urine. Humiliated and furious, the hacker lashed out, starting a violent fight between them. During the chaos, Fodes saw a chance and told Kim to run, but before they could escape, Banks stepped in and threatened to kill them both if they tried to move again. After walking all day, the group stopped to rest and quickly fell asleep. Seeing an opportunity, Fodes tried to free Kim, but Jensen caught him and slapped him hard. The next morning, they continued moving toward the Canadian border, still searching for Lawson. Along the way, Fodes found a half-burned map, proof that Lawson had used it to start a campfire. The clue confirmed that Lawson was close by. While resting in a tree, the hacker came across the body of Fodes' friend, who had gone hunting earlier. After confirming he was dead, Fodes realized that Lawson, a former member of Banks' crew, was the one who killed him. The group continued their search and soon found Lawson leaning against a tree, weak and badly hurt. His injuries showed that he had been in a fight with Fodes' friend. Banks immediately questioned Lawson about the stolen money, but Lawson refused to talk and mocked them as foolish thieves who were easily tricked. His words enraged everyone, including Dominica, and they killed him on the spot. After Lawson's death, Banks and his crew no longer cared about the money, but Kim suggested they search the river near Lawson's hideout. There was a chance he had hidden the cash there. Kim suggested searching the river to buy time and delay her and her father's execution, since the gang now saw them as useless. When they finally found the money, it was stuck on the edge of a cliff, too dangerous to reach. Seeing a chance, Fodes made a deal he would get the money if they agreed to let Kim go free. Banks refused the deal, saying Kim would only be released after he had the money. After a difficult climb, Fodes managed to get the money, but as soon as Banks had it, he shot at Fodes and Jensen, then cut the rope. The ground beneath them gave way, and they fell into the deep ravine below. As Banks was about to kill Kim, she told him she knew a way out of the wilderness. Hearing this, he changed his mind and decided to keep her alive. Following her lead, the group made their way out of the thick forest. During the journey, Jerry started showing interest in Kim and hinted that he wanted to be with her, but when she turned him down, he became angry. Jerry attacked Kim, hitting her, but Dominica stepped in and quickly stopped him. Tired of his behavior, Banks and the others decided to abandon Geary. Meanwhile, Fodes was still alive. He buried himself in the ground to survive his gunshot wounds and stay hidden. Later, he found a backpack with emergency supplies and discovered a crossbow, a weapon that could give him an advantage. After a long day, Banks and the remaining gang members stopped to rest and get ready to eat, only for Jensen to reveal that all their food was in Geary's backpack. Meanwhile, Jerry, still alive, was feasting alone in the wilderness. Meanwhile, Fodes quietly prepared his arrows, getting ready to strike back, who had been left alone away from the group. When he learned that Kim was heading toward the border, he began planning his next move. The next morning, as Banks and his gang continued their journey, Kim stayed strong, convinced that her father was still alive. Kim left a small clue behind to help her father find her, certain he was still alive and looking for her. As the group moved forward, Jensen stopped by the roadside to smoke a cigarette. When Fodes saw him alone, he stepped out to confront him. Although Fodes was bigger, Jensen's greater strength and fighting skills allowed him to overpower Fodes again and again, showing he was a tough opponent. Fodes finally defeated Jensen by driving a sharp piece of wood into his body. When Banks and Dominica called out to Jensen and got no reply, they chose to leave him behind. Meanwhile, Kim felt certain that her father had managed to kill him. After a long journey, as the group approached the Canadian border, Fodes appeared and threw a heavy log at Banks, signaling the start of their final showdown. The log hit Dominica instead, killing her instantly and sending Banks into a rage. He threatened to kill Kim if Fodes tried to interfere again. When Banks pulled out his gun and aimed at Fodes, he accidentally fell into a trap and tumbled into a ravine. With the situation now in Fodes' favor, Banks convinced Kim to keep walking toward the nearest border. Fodes regained his focus and continued tracking Banks, but by then, Banks and Kim had already reached the border. There, Banks killed 3 campers to keep from being discovered. When he ran out of bullets, he changed his plan, deciding to knock Kim out and escape on a motorcycle. At that moment, Fodes appeared and told Kim to run and get help. When Banks reached a nearby settlement, he quickly hid after hearing the sound of approaching engines, realizing danger was close. Knowing Fodes was tracking him, he desperately searched for a way to escape. He hid inside an abandoned warehouse, but Fodes soon found him. After a fierce fight, Fodes overpowered Banks. Without wasting time, he left the warehouse carrying a bag of money, a symbol of his survival and victory. Kim reunited with her father just as Banks showed up. Without hesitation, Banks insulted Kim in front of Fodes, enraging him. In an instant, Fodes drove a motorcycle straight at Banks and set it off, killing him in a huge explosion. With Banks dead, Fodes saved Kim.